All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and get started? Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join us for this first town hall for the villages of 2022, first of many. So I'm glad you're able to take the time and join us. I just want to say, first of all, Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Who would have thought we would be here in this space, in this COVID phase at this, almost 2 years later. So we're hopeful this year. I know every year we think it's going to get a little better. And I was just thinking back to a year ago, and this is when the vaccines were coming out a year ago, right? And we were so thinking that the vaccines would be so helpful and that we would really push through this. And then we had Delta, then we had Omicron. So yeah, here we sit. So first of all, I just want to introduce myself. I know I haven't met everybody. I'm Shannon Schumacher, and I'm the president CEO of the Villages. And I'm 9 months into this job. And I have to say, I still every day I'm awash with gratitude and honor and privilege that I get to sit in this seat every day and hopefully help you do the work that you do better. And that I feel so very grateful. So some people ask me, so you're 9 months in, how is the honeymoon over? Because I've just been from the very beginning, just so kind of overwhelmed with how amazing the work we do is. And the honeymoon is not over. It is truly a delight every single day to come to work here and to work alongside all of you. And I have to say, just because it's a delight doesn't mean every day is easy, as you all know. So yeah, there's some challenges for sure and some difficult days, but every single day just an absolute delight. So Happy New Year to you. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through just a brief PowerPoint and just kind of basically talk about 9 months in, what I've seen, what we've been doing, and more importantly, where we're going and what kind of things that you will see going forward, and then to leave some questions and time for questions and time for comments, and hopefully to share some ideas. So we have half an hour, so I don't want to belabor this too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started and move on to the next PowerPoint. So I'm 9 months into the Villages, and it seems like yesterday, and it also seems like 10 years ago. It's been one of those years. And I have to say, it's been a year of change. Boy, has it been a year of change for the Villages. And just by virtue that I'm sitting in this seat and not Sharon Pierce, who sat in this seat for almost 30 years. So that's number one, a giant change that we're all dealing with. And we are in the business of change management. That's what we do with our clients every day. And we know that change is hard. And this has been a particularly, just seems like just changes left and right. We've seen a lot of people who have given a lot of their lives and time and years to the agency that are no longer here. We know that generates in us grief and sadness. And so I want to recognize that first off, for sure. We have new people, again, change, new people. That's can be exciting and interesting, but also scary and unnerving, right? We don't know what these new people are going to do or how they're going to be or how the dynamics are going to change. And so that too is can be stress invoking. The other piece of it is just I don't want to take all this time to talk about COVID for sure, but that is absolutely the elephant in the room. And I feel such gratitude for all of you who I know I've been in your shoes and done a lot of the jobs similar to what you have done, but I have never done them in this kind of environment where, just talking about how you have to mask up. It's hard to know if you can go into the home or you can't go into the home. It's hard to know if just like what's going to happen tomorrow. COVID has hit us very, very hard. I was just looking at some statistics, and we had between October 1 and the end of last year, 2021, we have 10% of our staff who were tested positive for COVID. 10%. I mean, so this is also affecting, of course, our personal lives, right? And quarantining has been super difficult for, I know, my family, for your families. Just, daycares have closed, I think, we are in the business of taking care of children and families, but we have to make sure we take care of our own children, our own families first. And so I think that's really important and it can't be understated. For sure in all of this. So I just want to reiterate how grateful I am. Some of the things that I've seen in these 9 months, which have just been heartwarming and just amazing. And one of the things is, because we're coming out of this, so the Christmas season, I would say warned. I was people said, oh my gosh, you better strap in, you're in for a Village's Christmas. And I have never seen anything like the generosity of people for our families and our children. I was totally not prepared. And how much time and effort you all put into this, and all of the details of, even down to, what does little Johnny want? What size does he wear? To make sure that he gets that. I just have been just completely blown away by Christmas. And I know, again, back to kind of change, I know some of you who have been here for a long time, Christmas used to be a lot different at the Villages when we were able to do things in person. And like there's a picture there of me and Brenda with the drive-through that we had, just super creative though, in Indianapolis for foster parents and for Family Network, Family Connection Network families. So there's a lady there with a check who came in, and she was from the Fraternal Order of Police, and she's like, here's $5,000. Please buy gifts for children. So just absolutely just amazing. So seeing lots of stories from foster parents and from the youth that we serve, the children we serve. One of the things that actually I was thinking about the other day is I was able to go to, which was, I have to say, one of the most fun things I have ever done on work time, and that is go to the OYS Christmas party at Cranky Pins in Fort Wayne. And so super fun and super cool, and met a young man who was talking about the business that he started. He has an online business for selling shoes, selling fancy sneakers that I don't know anything about, but just super, super amazing that where he has come from and how far he's gone, and that we have been leading him in that, and that our staff were the ones who helped him to get as far as he has. And some really good bowlers too. I don't know, Mark Buchanan, if you're on here, but he is quite the bowler, if you ever want to know that. So just again, I've been in awe, just walking around in awe of all the things that you have done and do every single day. So moving on a little bit. So what have we been up to? What's been going on? So this is the real fun part that us social work types don't usually like to talk about too much, so I won't talk too much about it, but finances. So one of the things we've done in my last 9 months is really thinking about the finances of the agency. And there's a thing, it's just like no margin, no mission, no money, no mission. So what's really important to me, and I don't want to kind of bore you with the financial details, but it's super important that we have money so that we can pay for things that help our families and that help you. I mean, a couple of things, stabilizing foster care. I know some of you may be real shocked by this, but the Department of Child Services makes getting reimbursed for foster care real complicated and painful. And so really we've taken a lot of time to figure out how to do that better and do that well. And Val and her team have just been hitting it out of the park on that. So we've stabilized foster care. We know how to manage foster care so that we don't lose money. Another piece of it is just to make sure that we have money to do all those extra things that make us extraordinary, that make the work you do extraordinary, above and beyond anywhere else. And those are those flexible funds so that you can ask for daycare for foster families and beds for foster families so they can take a child or another child, and just those flexible funds that make your job easier and that make the lives of our families better, and the children ultimately to get them placed in safe places. So, and then the other piece of it I want to share on the finance side, and then I'll stop the finance stuff, but our board of directors approved our budget for this year, and we, thank goodness, we are able to give increases, 3% increases. So at the time of your anniversary date is when the increases will kick in, and that is no small thing given how difficult the finances are during COVID and all things COVID. So I'm really pleased to make sure that you all know that was going to be coming down. Now, not as much as we would have liked, but it is something. So that's the one thing we've been working on this past 9 months. The other piece of it is very, very important is our DE&I efforts. So our DE&I efforts, we've been adapting and adjusting and figuring out how to be, of course, we want to have every person who works for the villages feel included and feel important and feel like they can come to work with their full selves as they are, and all the things that they care about and love are represented here. So we have this really robust DE&I committee, and I wanted to list all of the people who are on it. And here's a list. I won't read through it all, but I do want everybody to see it. And this committee it's a real working committee. So some of the things that we have done, there's going to be a subgroup looking at training. So vetting different kinds of DE&I training. So that's going to be happening. We've worked with John Scott. We've been working with him for a while, and we're very excited to have some. He worked with a group of folks on professional development, and we have all kinds of, I think, very important recommendations for how we can improve and be better with DE&I. And a lot of those fall within the HR department, which is the next thing I'm going to talk about. And one of the things I'm super proud of, and we're really focusing on with the DE&I committee. So any kind of major decision that our agency makes, we are making sure that we have somebody from this DE&I committee on those subgroups that are making decisions. So for instance, we got a new marketing firm. And so we put out, all of these marketing firms put a bid in, and they want to do our marketing for foster care and recruitment. And we had a DE&I person, I have actually a couple on that committee making those decisions. And so that's really important. So we have a different lens than just, myself and Brenda and Val that are making these decisions. And the same with our benefits broker. So we bid out benefits brokers, and we had actually Claudia Tascan Pena has been on all of these committees and just super involved and brings a different lens. Again, very, very important. So yes, that's a big piece of what the DE&I committee is doing, and you'll hear more about that. We're going to put on SharePoint the Villages Square. We're trying to move people onto the Villages Square, so we're going to put some added information for the DE&I committee there. Moving right along, HR. So we have almost a brand new HR team at this point, and super excited to have a complete team, and very nice looking group of folks, as you can see. So I just wanted to introduce them. So we have Brian Lasky. So some of you may not have interacted with anyone yet. John Kraft, Taylor McCutcheon, and Jordan Bright. So hopefully you get to meet them very soon, but here's some pictures of them. Hi, folks. And so I know Brian is working on a lot of these recommendations from the DE&I, performance review, looking at our benefits, just really, I think, raising the level of HR acumen and information that they can give us. And because HR is really supportive of our staff. I mean, our staff, we're a social service agency. Our most valuable asset are you, our staff. And so just to make sure that we're doing the best possible job to support you and your families. All right, moving right along. So we have a new program. It's not a new program to us, but we've launched Wendy's Wonderful Kids, and know some of you know about the program very, very well. But we are the statewide provider of Wendy's Wonderful Kids now. And so Wendy's Wonderful Kids is Dave Thomas Foundation. So it's actually their evidence-based program that we are rolling out. And this is an adoption program. So this is the whole goal of this, is to get children who are difficult to place, who are in foster care, to get them a forever home. And so older children. sibling groups and children with special needs. And so Nicole Schultz and her team have been working super hard, and Margaret, to launch this program. We have 11 staff and 3 supervisors since July. We have 70 kids in the program. We've already matched 10 kids and adopted 2 children, and 2 are in guardianship. And I want to put this picture up here because this, I was meeting with Corey during part of the Christmas rounds of things I was doing. And she told us about a young man, a 12-year-old, who is now getting adopted out of foster care. And he has a trach and a G-tube, this 12-year-old. And he requested for Christmas a doll. And so we wanted to get him a doll that reflected him. And that's what he wanted. And so Lisa Young and Corey worked to find a person who, basically that's a Baby Alive doll. And the Baby Alive doll, they retrofitted with a trach and with a G-tube. And so he can actually feed the baby, and it does its business in its little diaper, just like it would if it didn't have the G-tube. And many of us were moved to tears with this situation. But this is what I have realized. This is how extraordinary the Villages is. This is the kind of thing that we do every day that is above and beyond, because you all care so much and are just angels among us, honestly. So Wendy's Wonderful Kids. So you'll hear more about that coming soon, but I wanted to give you all an update on that. All right, COVID-19, here we are again. So we have we're in this interesting space where, what happened? Did the PowerPoint go away?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, just press share again.
Okay, share. There it is. Okay, we all want COVID-19 to go away. That was a kind of a Freudian thing there. So yes, so one of the things that we are doing right now, and this has been a big effort, lots of time and energy and people and research and consulting and attorneys and all the things. We have been rolling out this vaccination and testing protocol that the federal government has rolled out. Is for any company that has 100 or more employees. And so I have to say, I was just so impressed by how well we did this. So we have, just to let you know, we have, the whole point of this is to keep the spread of the virus down, right? So keep people from getting ill and et cetera. So, of course, the masking and the social distancing, but the vaccination rate. So our vaccination rate among staff is 87%. 87%, and everybody else who has to get tested every week. So, and which has been not the easiest thing in the world, for sure. But we rolled this out at the beginning of the year, and it's gone really, really well. It's gone very, very smoothly and not easy. And this is still in flux. So we don't even know exactly what's going to happen. There's all these court cases, and we don't know where it's going to end up, but we are following, we have an attorney named Amy Adelaide, and she is an employment law attorney. So we're following her guidance, and we're also following the Indiana Chamber's guidance, their legal guidance. So I'd like to say, like we all would like to say, we know exactly how this is going to turn out. We don't. And so, so we want to keep you posted as much as possible about how this comes out. Right now, we're staying the course. We're staying the course exactly how we have done all this work to do. And so yes, so that's where we are with that. We know, I just think about you all out in the field, trying to see your clients and making sure that it's we have a family that has a positive case, but you have to get in there and do your site visit. And so just so many hurdles and difficulties and headaches with this. And just thank you so much for all your effort around everything COVID. So let's get off of that slide. Okay, so going forward. So just a little bit about going forward. Some of the things that I want to do is get out and about and meet with you all and find out, you guys have all the ideas that are the good ideas about how we improve services and how how we can do better and other opportunities we have. So I want to meet with you all. I want to meet with clients and foster parents. I tell you, since starting this job, not having access to clients and meeting clients and talking to clients and seeing clients has been a real struggle for me personally. And so one of the things that I am going to do is get out there as much as possible. I know it's probably going to be virtual, but to meet clients and to meet foster parents. And so I'm going to need your help to figure out how to do that. So I know there's some trainings that foster parents have, and I know there's lots of activities with the older youth, which, boy, they are fun. I've really enjoyed my time through the Christmas season with I didn't play laser tag. I was tempted, but I did not. And the newborns, oh my gosh, I'm a baby freak. So excited to hopefully be able to do that too. So again, would love to have your advice about how best to do that and how to get in front of clients. The other thing is just communication. I think I need to improve my communication with you all. Back and forth though, communications are back and forth. So I want to hear what you have to say as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to have monthly town meetings or town halls. And this is probably a longer one, but just give you updates on what's happening and get your feedback. And then also the other thing I'm going to do are monthly regional coffee meetings. We're going to call them coffee meetings. Don't have to do coffee, but to have smaller groups, like 10 to 12 people. And so to go, like, just for an example, to Bloomington. And so if there are people that want to come in, socially distance, masks on, all of that, and just meet and just talk and figure out what's happening and listen to you, and you can hear my ideas, etc. And we can have we can do it with hybrid, so we can have some people from other places in the state that we can have people there, and hybrid, but smaller. So for me, it's just smaller groups. And then individual, I would love to meet with people individually. And so trying to figure out a way to do that as well. And then to attend your meetings and trainings. So like tomorrow, I'm going to be with the clinical directors have their meeting. And so I would like to go to that and just see what's happening. I may not be able to stay the whole time, but just to find out what you all are working on, again, mostly ideas and feedback for sure. So yeah, I think that might be the end of this part of the presentation. And I just want to end with this quote that I love so much that I've read several times. And I think it's apropos to what just we do. And it really, it melts my heart. So if a child comes to us from strong, healthy, functioning families, it makes our job easier. That's on that prevention side. I think of that with healthy families. If a child comes to us not having strong, healthy, functioning families, it makes our job more important. And I think that's where we are. And I think that just what we do is so important, and it's so extraordinary. What you do is so important and so extraordinary. I'm just so happy to be here. So, okay, that's all I have. So now, questions, comments, ideas, anything jump out in there that you want to know more about or unclear about or anything? I didn't leave much time, I see.
I've had some of my foster families asking if there was any possibility of them mandating them to get vaccinated. Do you have any direction on that?
That is a very good question, and we've heard that before, and I have not heard that. And I don't know if Brenda or anybody else wants to jump in, but I have not heard that.
No, we haven't heard anything like that.
But I can see why they might be concerned about it and thinking about it. So, good question.
I've recently had a lot of families who are unable to do a lot of the face-to-face. Is DCS talking about maybe allowing virtuals again?
So that's a good question. So I know they've been doing this case-by-case situation. So talking with the treatment or the team from DCS about doing that. I know it has been contained Brenda, jump in if I say something crazy, but it has been contained to if there's a positive or a quarantine. So you're talking just in general?
No, I've had a lot of positives and quarantine.
So in those cases, yeah, and Quan, I know you do a lot of licensing. So we would have to work through what that looks like, and maybe we just pause things for, a few days or a week, however long they need to quarantine. But there's still mainly face-to-face requirements from DCS, except as Shannon said, on a case-by-case basis. We can always typically get exceptions. I know it was harder at the beginning to get permission to do things virtually for even people who were sick or quarantining. It seems to be much easier now.
Good question. Well, I have to say, I mean, one of the reasons I want to do small groups is sometimes I don't like to ask questions in these big forums. And so I think that'll be really important too, that we have smaller. And the other thing I would just want to say is, I mean, open door policy. I mean, I say that and I mean that, and I would love to connect with you just one-on-one. If you have ideas, if you have suggestions, if you have just burning questions, I would love that. So reach out to me personally. We are hiring an executive assistant. Kimberly is no longer with us, and she's one of those folks who've been with us, who was with us forever and ever. And her retirement is it's a big sad thing for us. And so yeah, we'll be hiring somebody else that can help me organize a little better for sure. So. Okay, well, we'll get the cadence of how often we do the town halls, and they'll be shorter. I won't be talking as much like with PowerPoint. So we'll give you updates of things that are happening and hopefully get a little bit more back and forth and in that regard. So we'll get that out to you, and then we'll start to get the monthly smaller groups. So the other thing is, we'll cut it off at like 10 or 12. And so it'll be kind of fill the slots. And ideally, if you can be there in person, that'd be great, masked up and all that. But so we'll get that information out to you as well. And then I'll reach out and try to connect with any kind of meetings I can get to, and anytime I can figure out how to get to a client. And so I'll be trying to figure out how to have you help me do that. So thank you all so much. And this is recorded, and I think it'll be on, somebody help me. It'll be on the Village Square. So I know not everybody could be there or be here today. So. Okay. Well, Happy New Year again, and everybody have a great rest of your afternoon. Bye.